SBILL was definitely easier compared to JIGL and company law. Many students who have written today's exam are telling that this was their best paper compared to company law and JIGL. In this video, we will look at the key takeaways from this question paper for you to get a pattern of what is in the mind of ICSI. Second thing, from which chapter how many marks has been given, and a very quick overview of the question paper. After all the exams are done, we will be giving a detailed video with the question paper solving. In this video, we are not going to solve the question paper, but to give you a quick reaction to today's setting up of business and industrial labor laws. So first things first, what are the key takeaways which I saw after reading all the questions from this question paper? Yes, it is easier compared to JIGL and company law, which is good because if you score 65 plus in this paper, 60 plus, even 55 plus, the chances are even if you get just 40 in the other papers, overall it will help you in your aggregate. So please ensure that no matter what, write your other last paper in this module, and you can actually do well in that paper also, which is a practical paper. Next, current scenario questions means what is happening in the corporate world. They have added one example. Is one of the last questions is about prevention of sexual harassment at workplace, some of the malicious complaints. Lot of the complaints in the last 2-3 years is that people, like some of the women employees, are filing cases which are not true just to trouble certain employees, so they have to be punished, correct? So about that they have asked a question. So that is one very important thing. So any student who's writing next attempt, remember that current scenario, what is happening in the corporate world, they will add 1 or 2 questions relating to that. Next, let us come to more application of concepts. That means they have not asked case law questions are there, but not only case law questions, they have asked questions where there is some application of concept. What do you mean by application of concept? Application of concept is that they're giving you a question in form where they're just testing, they're not giving direct question, they're just testing, do you know the concept, with a statement, and then they're telling you to analyze, which is very, very interesting. Then lot of practical questions. Practical questions, again, things of how you are going to apply your mind and implement it, especially in labor laws. In the labor law part, how are you going to implement it in a real scenario? And last, not as lengthy as company law. I know you may not like me saying it. Now coming to this question paper analysis in terms of marks. If you see here, setting up of business entities, the first chapter, selection of business organization and financial services organization. These 2 chapters, whoever studied well, you have got 24 marks from these chapters, which is just brilliant. Apart from that, it is a almost equal division which is there. Of course, there is only one chapter where you have not got the question. And when we go to the part 2, industrial and labor laws, again if you see here, very, very interesting. Constitution of labor law, okay, you have 5 marks. Then evaluation of need, so for this is 0. This is very small chapter, it was expected, so 0 marks has been come. But law of welfare and working condition, 15 marks. Then law of industrial relation, 10 marks. Then you have law of wages, which is just 5 marks. But social security legislations is taking the most important 20 marks. And like I told you, POSH, prevention of sexual harassment of workplace, 5 marks, 1 question has come. So almost every question has been covered, you cannot miss anything. So this was, according to me, the best paper this attempt for students to score marks. I hope you scored really well, hope you did really well. So very quick analysis, very similar. You have a long question followed by different 3-mark questions, correct? Then you have case law or basically application of concept. Those kind of questions are coming in for you, correct? See here, they've given you a scenario, they've given you a case study which is imaginary, and then they want you to solve it to apply your mind. For example, here see again analysis question. So Anil wants to incorporate a company in the name of National Electricity Corporation Limited, correct? However, the application has been rejected as the name is identical to Rashtriya Vidyut. So what you should tell, according to the Name guidelines, this word is in Hindi, this word is in English, but it is a translation. Rashtriya Vidyut, so National Electricity, it is a translation. Okay, Nigam Limited, Corporation Limited. So that is why the name has been rejected. So you have studied the name guidelines, but how will you apply that? Very nice simple question. So it is not difficult. This paper is definitely not difficult. I'm not saying it is dead easy, but definitely compared to company law and JGL, it was very easy, and I hope if you wrote it you scored very well. Especially easy paper you have to score 60 plus. Why? Because the difficult paper you may score only 40 to 50. So overall the aggregate you need to get 50, you know very well, right? So some more questions like that. Yeah, so they have asked you difference between equity joint venture, contractual joint venture. So these are all the direct questions which you have to score very well in this kind of paper, right? Benefits of incorporating Nidhi company, they have asked that. Difference between partnership deed and trust deed, all simple questions. If you have just studied ICSI material or whatever coaching material you have, that all these are very basic points. Coming to part 2, again you have a long paragraph because they gave you 15 minutes. They're making you read a lot. And then 5 marks question, you have 4 questions, so that is 20 marks directly you have over here. Then again case law questions, and like I told you, see here, discuss the implication of section 14 of Sexual Harassment of Women at Workplace Act regarding punishment for false or malicious complaints. This was happening, so that is why I told practical, whatever was happening in the corporate world, they put it as a question which is very important for you to note. Otherwise you have general things, what are regarding the minimum bonus, maximum bonus, all direct questions, easy questions. I hope you did well. This was a paper which you had to score very well. Regardless of that, please go write the last paper of this module and ensure that you give your best. It doesn't matter how your paper 1, paper 2 or even paper 3 went. It is your duty to write all the papers. Sit for 3 hours, not 30 hours, and also ensure that you come out of the exam and then think of the future things later. But now you still have an exam, go and write it. All the best to you.